Hi, I'm Kristen Elliott. Welcome to Ben Franklin. Today I'd like to introduce you to a product called Poly Mesh. It makes decorating for the holidays wonderful and colorful. Today I would like to show you how to make the GeoMesh Christmas tree. In a previous video I made a GeoMesh wreath, and if you're interested in that, you can ask about that at Ben Franklin. I start out with a tomato cage. This can be purchased at Ben Franklin as well as the Poly Mesh. As well as the tomato cage and the Poly Mesh, I need chenilles, and you can pick up a package of those. You'll need 2 for this particular tree, and you will need 2 rolls of the Poly Mesh. The chenilles work out great because you can get them in all sorts of colors that are complementary to whatever Poly Mesh you decide. The Poly Mesh comes in a wide variety of colors, so you can make your tree pretty much any color you want. Another thing I want to tell you about the Poly Mesh is it has jagged edges here, so you want to do this with bare arms or else a shirt that will not catch on the Poly Mesh, and you want your table to be bare without a cloth, otherwise it will snag the fabric. So I've already started this tomato cage tree, and what we do at the bottom is we kind of make this round ruffly look to it, so that way it sits nicely on your table or floor or wherever you decide to put it. What I do is I start off by making loops. First I tie off the edge, and then I make loops on the end, and then I take the chenille and then twist that, and then I just push the loop next to the other one. So all you're doing is making a loop, squishing it, and tying it off with the chenille. I'm going to do this all the way around, like I said, to make the base of our whimsical little Christmas tree. Now, some of the loops don't have to be exactly the same size, just as close as possible. It's really fun to work with because it's rather forgiving. All right, so we have come to the end. See, it's nice and round and fluffy, and then we can just set it down on its bottom. And then we've got quite a bit of GeoMesh left on this roll. And what I do is I just unroll the roll. Pull that off. And now I'm going to twist the GeoMesh. The first twist I'm going to anchor to the bottom of the tree. That will be our starting point for going around the tree. And then I'm going to continue to twist. And you want to cover up any holes as much as possible. And then you'll tie it off onto the tomato cage. Now remember, I'm twisting on this one. I'm not making loops. Twist the GeoMesh. Tie it off. Alright, so I've come to the end of this roll. I just tie it off and start with the new one. Now if you notice, it's a little bit higher on this side, so I just want to compensate by starting there on the high side. I tie it off and just tuck this end piece into the center of the tree so nobody sees that. And then here we go, twisting again. One thing that I didn't do on this video that would be really fun and easy to do would be to add lights on the inside of your tree. And what you would do with that is you would just wire them to the cage first before you put your GeoMesh on. And any fluffing that needs to be done can be done after you finish your tree. Okay, so now as we're getting to the top, I just loop it around and twist as I go. And then if it needs to be anchored, you can even, if you'll notice, there's parts of the chenille here that are longer. So when you get to the top, you can even use that extra part and anchor that, like that. All right, so I've come to the top now. I have wires still sticking up. So I'm just gonna make a loop with the geomesh and then tie it off with a chenille. So probably what I'll want to do is put some sort of an ornament on top there, a star or a bow or anything. And then just cut this part off if you happen to have extra. And tuck that around underneath. And then you look at your tree and say, oh, it needs a little fluffing here or there. But all in all, it's really rather cute. So, there you go. Simple decoration for Christmas. Add a few bows, balls, and picks, and Merry Christmas.